Hey, what's up, everybody? Spabrog here, and I'm here to give you the HR Weekly Community Update number 5. This week's going to be very short, just because as of late, I've been dealing with school, and I've had like 3 midterms in the last week, and I have projects due next week, so I haven't gotten around to look in the forums or play as much as I wanted to. Like in this gameplay, this is probably one of the few gameplays that I got all week as of last Tuesday or so. So sorry, next week for sure we'll catch up if I can, but definitely by 2 weeks we'll get the ball rolling again. But yeah, so a week ago we talked about Temple when it got released, and it came out awesome. Everybody's enjoying the map. A lot of people don't want to play it repetitively. I think it fits well in the medley. I mean, I could play this map all day, and a lot of people do too, but I guess the medley rotation is so good right now that a lot of people want to play it. But whatever the case, I'm just going to talk about the patch notes, then we'll look at the 2 quick looks, because I missed a quick look last week because I just wanted to focus on the map. But yeah, guys, so let's look at these patch notes. So the patch notes from this Friday, there's a lot of fixes and a lot of bugs, I guess, that comes with the new map getting released. A lot of feedback that the players been giving back to the devs. So what we see here is just a lot of Temple stuff. They touch some things in Factory that are pretty good, but some things, again, there's things that people report and you don't notice. you don't notice yourself. So it's pretty funny to see. So starting with Temple, the AA gun, which is like the artillery gun, I guess, that you plant the bomb on, it like aims up now, so it looks cooler. The FPS problem that we were having last week, it got improved slightly. I probably got like 3-4 more FPS when I play now, so at least it's a work in progress, and you could tell they're actually working on it. So as long as the game runs smooth, I can care less, you know what I mean? Obviously I want it to be pretty, but I know it's gonna take a while. It's definitely a work in progress, like I said. But yeah, there's a lot of bug fixes. Again, I have been kind of out of the loop as of late because of school, so I'm probably gonna be talking off the top of my head right now. So there was a way to get into the temple just from jumping on top of a hill. It was pretty funny. It was like, there's no reason to breach now. We have like 3 ways to get in. So they took that away. I actually noticed that. I seen they kind of like made it a slope or something. So that's cool. And yeah, the trees are getting worked on for better FPS. So hopefully we see that this week. And there's a lot of ledges. There's like collision problems. I know in the tunnel that kind of went away. There was like invisible walls and stuff. I actually encountered, an invisible wall in the recent build, so I reported that, so that's cool. But yeah, next off, Factory. So one of the problems we were having in the community is that with the new thing they added, where you can't shoot through walls, like the wall clipping thing, they added it so like your muzzle like aims downward now. So the problem with that was that you couldn't shoot down like from the rails in Factory, so you would get blocked all the time. So essentially, usually when you're up top above somebody, you usually have advantage, right? In this game you were like at a disadvantage because your bullets just kept hitting the railing, so that wasn't cool. So they adjusted that, and I actually noticed that very well. And it wasn't just for that. I felt like there was spots in Temple that would have the same problem, but I felt like I could get my shots off a little bit better, and I think I probably popped a couple dudes in this clip over at the Temple. But yeah, so they took away some camera collision stuff, which is very important because there's a lot of times where you can't, like, those are things that are hard to fix, like just to know where they are, because some dudes won't even report it because they're so engrossed in the game. Like I noticed when in Sismus, I know they took it away, there was like a wall by the coffin, and you could kind of like strafe, and then your guy's head is just in the way of your crosshairs. You're just like fucked, and you die, and then it's just like whatever, and then you get mad and you forget about it next round, So next off, Wolf Run. They said they enabled double-side geometry on Wolf Run door. I don't even know what that means. but it's there for a reason, so I guess we'll see why. Maybe you could shoot. Oh, I think I know what it is. There was like a window, right? And you could shoot into it or out of it. Either way, it was only going one way, and I guess they fixed that. And they added a yellow railing to Wolfrun because it's a much better material and texture set. I don't know what that means. I never seen a yellow railing when I was playing, but whatevs. That's good as well. Wow. Alright, so they had some global changes as well. I noticed that these are pretty cool. So they gave terrorists flashbangs. I'm happy to see this because in SOCOM we had flashbangs, we had smokes. But the flashbangs aren't good at the moment, to be honest. They need a lot of work. They have like weird hit detection. Sometimes you could be like 5 feet away and you won't get affected by it. So it's kind of random, but when you actually get hit by them, they're really useful. And I hope to see it in the game because there's times where you'll see people running across the map and you just want to flash them, man. Like your nades probably won't get them. And I feel like it'll add some depth to the game, so I hope they fix the flashbangs. Again, they fixed the shot blocking so you can shoot over like railings and like ledges and stuff, so that's cool. They adjusted the lighting for all the maps apparently, just all around, just so you don't get like weird like shiny areas or whatever. There's times where like your guy's skin is just a little bit shiny or like a little bit darker. It's very awkward to see, but nothing too bad. Also, they did some work to the satchel explosion, so the satchel explosion doesn't look bad. It like before it looked like a nade, now it just looks like a little puff. And I don't know. Apparently you're getting it networked for next week, but I noticed the difference this week. Maybe I'm just a weirdo, but I hope it looks cool. I hope everything just like freaking blows up like in Wolfrun and the Factory. There's probably a lot to ask for in this, for the next patch because it's probably like very low priority. But yeah, to continue on, let's look over these quick looks. So the quick look I'm gonna talk about first is October 13th. Okay, so basically, I know I just talked about the patch that just came out, but this one, I guess it has some stuff that hasn't been, updated in the recent patch, so I might as well talk about it. So they said they were working on the lighting, which is an ongoing thing, again with bugs. They're gonna revisit the other maps, they said. So they're gonna take away a lot of wall clipping and collision things. So like in Sismus, Wolfrun, there's a lot of weird places where like your gun pops, it shouldn't shoot the way that it's actually shooting. So for instance, in Wolfrun, in the middle building where the bomb is, you can't shoot over the sandbag sometimes. It's really weird, and your bullets just keep hitting. So I hope they get that fixed. I know how to deal with it. You got to go to first person view, but not a lot of people know that. Like they said, for example, Rails and Factory, those were kind of annoying for them, but that got fixed in the recent patch. So again, they're working towards it. Also, they're working on the workshop framework. So the workshop is basically Steam Workshop, so our map editor. That's what Rosie told me at least. So once they do that, oh my god, we can get our SOCOM 2 maps. That'll be so great. I miss playing like all the old ones, and it'll give us something to do until all the maps are done or we get more content. It's definitely cool. I know a lot of people are working on things on the side, and we all want to see it. Also, I know there's one thing I want to touch on in a future video, the SOCOM Remastered, which I'm excited about, but where does H-Hour lie? But we have Workshop framework. But again, I'm just like kind of like running off the mind right now, running off the top of my head, since usually I have notes, but this week, catching up with everything, it's very hard. But yeah, I think we're doing a good job so far. So next off, for next week, or this week rather, the quick look that we just got on October 19th, they said that their main activities for the week will be work on the FPS challenges, again, the frames per second in Temple, again, bugs, continuing work on the workshop again. Also, They were visiting Wolfrun and Sismus to add improvements off of player feedback. And they say Wolfrun is priority, so they're gonna fix that. And again, we talked about this in the last couple videos. Wolfrun isn't the greatest map at the moment. I know Russ wanted to retouch it. He wanted to add tunnels, apparently, tunnels and a big building in the middle. So the river didn't feel like no man's land. Again, it kind of like promotes very passive play, and everybody just wants to camp. So there's no reason ever to move. You know, it feels like a game of chicken again. Also, Sismus, again, it's gonna get fixed. I wonder what they could do to Sismus. I have to really sit down and think about that. I know the flow of the map's weird if you push left, but if you could get out the right spawn as a terrace, then the map, you know, it flows great. Also, he said he wanted to add some density, because if you look at the proof of concept videos and stuff, the Sismus looks awesome as fuck. It looks very like gritty. It looks cool, and it was in UE3, so I guess he did what he had to do to get the map out for UE4. But again, these dudes are always working on stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're always gonna touch up on the old stuff, especially if it isn't perfect. You know. Also, they're gonna touch up on the mic system as soon as they get the workshop thing done with. So they had a tester. I think I've mentioned this in the past videos. They had a tester come through for like 3 weeks. I think this is like the second week that he's there, and they're testing stuff out. They're gonna adjust it, but priorities is definitely the workshop for the map editor, and then the mics, and then they're talking to Technicolor for the animations and identifying UI, so user interface improvements, and they're looking at weapons too. So it's a lot of little things that they're looking at the moment. So again, animations, mics, UI, and weapon mechanics. Also, I hope we get Claymore soon, man. That's you know, speaking of weapons, I wouldn't mind getting some more artillery, some more inventory stuff. Can't wait to plant a mine and then blow somebody the fuck up, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the quick look. I guess I'll talk about random stuff for a little bit since it's a little short. I'll give you guys a little bit to think about. Shit, what can I think about? I know that people want cross-platform H-Hour. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about that, because I know mouse and keyboard has an advantage. Granted, we have really great players that play on controller, and controller actually does pretty fine, but there's, you know, you're still at a disadvantage. So cross-platform, if, you know, H-Hour comes off to PS4, that, you know, we all want it to. But yeah, if it comes out to PS4, I wouldn't want to play somebody with a mouse and keyboard. Jesus Christ, that's freaking terror. Especially when you have that slow turn speed and somebody could turn on you. Oh, God help me. That is not fun. Also, I know a lot of us want PMN mines and claymores and stuff. I really want those too, because, you know, I feel like the game's getting there. It's not as bare bones as before. I feel like the game just is looking prettier. Again, its tempo still needs a little bit work for FPS, but that's one thing I personally don't like about PC, is that the game could look so great like on the highest settings, but if you don't have the computer, you know, to like freaking play at the max settings, it looks nice, but the potential for it to be nicer is there, and you know you can't touch it unless you got to sacrifice something like frame rate, which you don't want to sacrifice in a shooting game, in my opinion. But if we could get it on PS4 and then things look snazzy, then that'd be cool. What else? Man, gun mechanics, I guess. P90. Whew. Not a fan. Not a fan of the SMGs at the moment. I've said this time and time again. They fixed it a little bit, but it's just like, yo, man, SMGs do like 0.25% of your damage, so like 24, 26%, sometimes even 34. Apparently, I think that number's changed, but I think they should lower the damage values. I can't see how it makes a little bit of sense. That's a lot of damage. You know what I mean? Especially if somebody has a 50 bullet clip like a P90 and they're just spraying. And the spray pattern's good in my opinion because it's not too accurate. But somebody could miss you completely and then hit you twice, and then you're like at 50, and then you got to play the rest of the round because somebody's just spraying. That's the only really big gripe I have with it. It's just the SMGs. MP5 is really good. The range isn't as good as it used to be, so I guess it's kind of fair, but the damage is just too strong. Yeah, that's pretty much it for guns. Everything feels good. Oh, I see a shotgun on screen, so shotgun, I wish they gave a knockback animation. Also, nades. When nades hit, they should shake your screen. I wonder if they're gonna address that. You know what? I'll talk about that. I think I already have, honestly. Yeah, I did do a grenade feedback thing. But yeah, guys, next week we'll see what we could come up with. That's pretty much it for today. I've just been so busy again, midterms and school and all that. And look, a flashbang didn't even hurt me just now. Isn't that funny? But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Spab, twitter.com/Mr. Spab, MRSPAB. And like the flash work, nice. Twitch.tv/spab_rog. I streamed H-Hour the other day. It was really cool. We were having fun. And also follow SOF Studios at SOF Studios on Twitter. Thanks again, guys. You know, we'll try to make this H-Hour dream come true. Next week I'll try to talk about SOCOM. No promises, but that's something I really want to talk about. You know. All right, guys. Take care. Peace.